Oh, wow.
So
That's
that's
great.
what I do for a living for SUNY.
Ah,
So
Oh, very cool.
hearing that, I'm I'm a big Blackboard user. So I thought that was really cool that you were able to, it's kind of inspiring to me that you were able to tie it back
mm-hmm.
to the LMS because I'm
Yeah,
very LMS heavy, when it comes to like things that I think about. So
okay.
just hearing that you were able to figure out a way to sort of connect the two things was really cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really an excellent connect. It will work, but it may have to be tweaked a bit. But it's a great connection between that and any LMS. But the core sites I chose because I was comfortable with core sites from a previous, actually two projects prior to that, and the students seem to be very comfortable in it as well.
Yeah, Course Sites is really great because it's pretty much open, and they allow you to do. It's kind of like a nice sandbox that you can play in. So
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I felt it was, very open and I can do what I needed to do in creating the curriculum.
Yeah.
Oh, good night, April. You're leaving?
Yeah, April served as a recorder. This was really quite a team effort. We have the developers and we have other developers. Well, actually, they're all developers, but some took turns recording, some took turns doing the show and tell. We're still not quite sure what happened with BioBunny, but I think because Maya is ultimately going to be working with young children, she may have set the permissions in a way that we couldn't get in. So
That's what I was thinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we're thinking something like that. Now, Gary's here. Gary's working with kind of a training in hospital environments. And I don't know if he can take the mic, but did you find things that resonated with you, Gary?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was having problems with the audio, but I think I finally got it to work.
Yeah, I can
Actually,
see.
really enjoyed.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I really enjoyed everything. I think the uh, island I went to was a little bit was having a little trouble because I inadvertently turned on some sort of background music, and there was this sounded like some English guy who kept talking about how he used the rooms, and it just looped constantly. So it was difficult to try to concentrate. But I really did very much the video island with the television and stuff. I actually went to a broadcast school when I was younger, and I got a little taste of television, and I thought it was really really well done. Very interesting how they put that in the virtual world.
Yeah, and Al, that's really his line of work. He does video. He wanted to make a training studio for, his own group. People do video now all the time. And, some of us just do down and dirty video, but he really would like to have people learn how to do high quality video. So that's his goal. Yeah. Well, and everybody did something different. Al did hire some extra services to do some of that camera programming. So he's wanting to make some of that available. Irene did all her own work, taking things, repurposing them, lining them up with objectives. As you can see, they developed entire courses around the work they did. So they just showed you snippets of what they did. But they have a lot of other things, and of course would like you to come back at times when you have more time to see the islands. And pretty much Al and Irene keep their islands open all the time. And so does Maya, but I think there's just, we have to figure out why people couldn't get there. But I think it's, maybe if she looks at how she said it, we can change that. So
Yeah, the video studio. The video studio is much more impressive than the bathroom that I used this weekend for my video.
I did. Irene, you had to see that. Gary did make a nice recording of himself for his YouTube portion, but he found a nice quiet bathroom. But it looked, if you hadn't said that, nobody would have known. I think it was because you talked about the mirror in it, and then we all began to realize.
It was the only place where I could get it. It was the only place where I can get the lighting to work. I wasn't going to wear makeup or anything like that. So having the overhead lights and it reflected off the mirror and reflected onto my face, I looked, like I had some professional lighting going in there. But it was the only place where I could get something where I wasn't washed out.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I found that I had recently had a panic thing where the dean was having a webinar, having a meeting with us, and she called it by Skype. I had to rush through, put up a screen in the background because I work out of my basement. You see the pipes and everything. So I'm saying to my husband, quickly, nail up something before the camera goes on and the dean sees me.
That's funny.
Oh, but you know what happened?
Well, that's what I did.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, but I ended up having like I had disguised the toilet, so I made it look like an end table. So I actually did all of these things to make it not look like a bathroom as much as possible.
Very good, very good. We're all adaptive. If people think that technology makes life easy, it doesn't, but it does make it interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say to Gary, that sound, that guy speaking in the background, that can be turned off. That's a media setting. That's something from the in-world, and you can shut that off. So
is that on your island,
droning
Irene?
on and on as well.
Yeah, is that on your? Is
when
that
I
on
went
your
back
island?
a second time, it didn't turn on again.
Okay, good. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. And I had that. I had to actually go in and turn it off. It brought in what it is. It's a tutorial from, I think, one of the co-founders of Kitely. Droning on and on about how to set up and market and so forth.
It sounded exactly like a tutorial. It just kept being on and on and on.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like somebody's conscience. I don't know.
Yeah, so I turned that off. I went back in and turned it off because I noticed they kept popping back. I'm not quite sure. So in the media settings, you can turn it off too. But it can be very distracting if it's there. It shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I was trying to pay attention to what I think you were trying to say. I wasn't trying to look how to turn it off. Although I was very tempted to try to figure that out, but I didn't want to lose what you were trying to say either.
Sure. Yeah, it's actually a setting in the let's see, I think it's in the either advanced in the media. If you go to the media area, and you can go in there and turn off that it's called media in the behind the world.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like music playing and
sound and media.
Yeah. Yes, the sound and media.
Yeah, I have Firestorm's viewer right now. I went in under Avatar, Preferences, Sound and Media. Yeah, I think.
Right.
Yeah, you're in. Yeah, she's using a more robust viewer because she's a developer, and so it all depends. But you find the menus eventually, one viewer after the other. Well, I don't know if anyone else is coming back. April's gone.
Yeah, I think I've got to go too, Eileen.
Yeah.
It was real
good. Well,
great to have everyone.
And Gary, you think everybody had a good experience from the class?
I think so. Yeah. Everybody seemed pretty engaged.
Oh, good. Yep. And I'll send a note out to the class to ask for you to share back your snapshot so that I can get them back to the developers, because they're really interested in, constantly improving their work and would appreciate feedback. So I will say goodbye. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodnight also, and thank you all for coming. And Irene, thank you for doing such a professional job. I think you really made a good impression. I'm just sorry people can get to Maya's island, but we'll try to figure that one out. I'll see if I can get there before I leave. So good
I
night,
had
everybody. Yeah.
I just want to tell you before you run, I had Nicola come in, and thank God for Nick because she helped me with some landmarks that I hadn't set up yet. So that was very, very helpful.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, she's a pro with this stuff. She's been in it
Oh,
longer than
yes.
I have. So I'll go find Maya and I'll say good night to both of you and thank you very much
Okay.
and have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
All right,
You
take
too.
care. Bye.
Good night. Good night, all.
Good night.
Hi, ladies. Wait, oops. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to run you over. Can you hear me now? It's Eileen. Are you both
Why
still
some
there?
people were able to get in, some people weren't. But we can't figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, where'd you guys go? You know, some hints came about it might be a permissions issue. And do you have your island set for maybe children, mature? I think there are 3 settings.
Oh, and it's set for public access.
It's set for public
But-
access, yeah.
Yeah, but the only thing we thought of was my group is ESC Builders, and it might just have been a coincidence, but the people who were able to get in, I think, are all in that group.
Oh. You know, I know you can restrict, and my voice, sorry, it's going kind of loud. You can restrict people to groups. Yeah, that only certain groups can get in.
Yeah.
Eileen,
So-
if you go to her parcel
Okay,
details under world,
Underworld. Okay, I'm going up there. Parcel
Okay.
details. Yeah.
so under general it shows a group, but I think that doesn't that just mean that Bio Bunny is a member of that particular group,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because then if you go over to access,
Yeah.
the allow public access is checked.
Mm-hmm. I see that. I remember this summer I took some time to write up about the different permissions. And so I remember when I did it this summer, and that's in that operations document. But there are ways that there are like multiple ways for making things private. And some of them, let me think if it was here. And I don't know why, I'm sorry, my voice keeps on getting clipped, but I'm afraid if I turn it off, you won't see it at all. Looking under options, objects. Maya, when you go in from the dashboard, you know, when you come in through the web,
Yep.
Through that interface, there is a place where you can set who can come into your island by maturity levels. And I'm seeing up on top, yours says general.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if somebody, I don't know what the avatars default to, whether they come in, I think the levels are general, moderate, and adult.
Yeah. And
So possibly if avatars are coming in as moderate, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting some feedback, but I don't want to turn this off yet. It could be that possibly the avatars were moderate and they couldn't get onto your general island. But I'm not sure because I think Marion Island is just general too, but you know, maybe I'll just zip back over there for a minute and then come back here. and see what that one is set to.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
I like when I go to my profile and it says I'm 1 year old and 388 days.
Actually, it won't let me go there yet. It says it closed me down. You're 1 year and 388 days. Very good.
I'm 388 days.
Yeah.
I was born 10/12/2014.
Hi, Eileen.
Oh, hi, Al.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How did you do? I think
I
you had
think pretty good.
Yeah, you had a good. I'm over there trying to triage what happened to Maya. Nobody could get to her island.
I
And
know. A few did though. I did jump over just to see if she got anybody, and a few were there. Certainly, Nicola was.
yeah,
But
and we're trying to think about something to do with permissions. I'm going to just, can you hang on 1 minute? I'm just going to run over and tell her that we're here. And
Absolutely.
maybe they'll want to come over here and talk to us. So I'll just
Okay.
go. Unless you know how to send them a text message, but I don't know if they're my friends or not. So I better just pop over there. Irene left,
Okay.
but let me go back to Bio Bunny and see if
I'm
I
going
can.
to take a quick look around because this place is. I mean, every time I come, it's different.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Terry?
Yes.
Yeah. I just went back and my island is G as well, so that doesn't seem to be the issue. But Al is over there now. Would you guys like to just come over and talk to Al and we can brainstorm and see if we can figure out what we can suggest to Maya? And is she coming back? I don't know if she's here.
Yeah, we were checking out. There's this green dot that's over on one of her islands.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
And is that what it is, Maya? You see the guy?
Yeah, I saw him, but I can't imagine that is why a person is showing up there, because that's just a leftover thing from SketchUp.
Oh, well, maybe somebody's inside one of your buildings.
Yeah,
Except it's not by a building though. And when you teleport right to that green dot, there's just like this flat man right above your head.
Oh. Oh yes, SketchUp has characters, and sometimes that happens. Yeah, I think they ported the character over. Hey, Al's waiting for us over on Marion Island. Do you want to come over and we'll talk to him?
Sure.
Okay. I'll see you there in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, now we just have to find Al. Huh? Al's here. Yes. Oh wait, now we're on, wait a minute, are we on Al's island? Oh, there he is. Yeah, Al, are you buying us drinks? Okay, he's doing this. I don't know whether he found us. There's a sinkhole here someplace.
Oh yeah, there's actually when I went towards the map area on that picture that you had sent us, it's a huge sinkhole there.
Oh, oh,
I
yes.
thought, oh, good. That's a good place to plot people.
You know, things to check out. So you really do learn things when you have people coming. And, you know, we'll see with bio. As a matter of fact, you can see right, well, I'm looking towards it, my avatar is. You can see I was kept on going over to her island because I was having trouble getting to the right spot. You know what I'm wondering, though? You guys, here she is. You guys have, Al and Irene have less complicated islands. And I'm thinking that if you put too much on the island, that can be part of what causes trouble. And that's what I always do. I put too much on my island. Hi, Bio. We're sorry people didn't get over there, but you give us a good troubleshooting challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what I was wondering? If you had less on your island, now, you have to learn how to export it. And that's in that operations document. And if you can export your island, then you can play around with removing some of the stuff. Because I think that you can have a problem with too many things. And
yeah, I haven't exported it since I set it up as a 4 region.
Oh, right.
I can try. I actually was thinking of putting it back to a 1 region, and because I don't really feel like I need all of those different spaces, because now I just feel like I have to fill it all up.
Yeah. You are a lady after my own heart. You work the way you work the way I do. And then people like Al and Irene, who are more artistic, and Nicola, they just can't believe the mess I'll make.
Is it
So
one
you
island
just
that
tell
you?
people that this is the free shopping area for your students, is what this is.
Yes, this is the
Yeah,
warehouse.
It's really turned into a warehouse. I mean, boy, you have a lot more stuff than even we had available to us initially.
Yeah, and I put things on the other islands too, because what was happening, I was running out of space in Prims, so I couldn't duplicate things anymore. But do come back, but probably less is more, because it takes time for the computers to draw all the pictures, resing them, and you know, if you have it too complicated, it makes it harder for the avatars.
Yeah, as
Does
mine
the
has progressed, it takes longer and longer to you know, when you first arrive and the servers have to build the island for you. It takes a while, you know, the more intricate they are. And as you say, ours, Irene and mine are a little simpler than Maya's, but interesting stuff. You know, you have to juggle. But these
Mm-hmm.
4 islands, I wanted to ask you, Maya, is it 4 island, or is it 1 island divided into 4 quadrants? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 1 island that's now 4 regions, and although I imported 2 ores for 2 of the regions, so those are different shaped islands, and then the other 2 are terraformed.
But you have the package that essentially is 4 regions or 4 islands.
Yeah, are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 4 regions but 1 island.
Uh-huh.
I told Maya that I found an article. I was looking for something else in Hypergrid business, and it said something about I'm going to find it and get it to everybody, because it was talking about you can reconfigure these bigger island region stuff into like smaller patches. And I just briefly saw it, so I don't know the mechanics of it, but I'm going to try to find it.
You know,
Tim Burke just came back.
in speaking with the programmer, there are ways of directing teleports to a specific place, and I think with that really, and I'm gonna travel your island a little more thoroughly because you've done so much more with it, Maya. But perhaps think of it as the yellow brick road. If you can direct the starting point, and then you create like a yellow brick road, if you will, any color you want, but something where it's like start here and take them through rather than, unless you want people to just kind of scatter around. But if you want a more directed sort of this follows that, this follows that, you might want to have a pathway or something that travels through your different islands with bridges, if you will, and if need be. Just a thought.
Um, so each classroom space is supposed to have a different piece of the curriculum, a different module, and that's just for this iteration. But
Hmm.
I was building the different regions up for different cohorts of users. So
Ah.
didn't necessarily have to travel from one region to
Oh, I
another.
see. I see.
They would be in
Each
their
one
own
is
region.
devoted to a different group, different activity.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
ideally they'd be using the same spaces
that's
all the
great.
time. Um, and the 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 space that I was going to show the people today was the space that's supposed to look like Cornell campus. So you could go on a Cornell campus tour and see some of the buildings, but you would ultimately go to a classroom space to do the curriculum.
Hmm.
I was wondering too,
Great.
Bio, if you sent a note to the guys that run the place, you can go into the forum and send them a note saying that you had this trouble. And I'm wondering if they might have suggestions as to why people couldn't get onto your island.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I am also going to investigate Terry's suggestion that because actually we should check and see if everyone else's also says ESC builders. But if it doesn't, then I'm thinking that might be the reason. Because it's true that the only people who were able to get in are in that list.
And I definitely know from the research I did this summer that you can restrict an island to people only in a particular group. So you'd have to go look at that document I put together over the summer, but I do know that that's possible. So maybe someplace you set that.
Kitely was supposed to have simplified, the different packages, if you will, but I bet it's still confusing. And I remember in there was something about if you had an island such as, I guess this one, or certainly Maya's, where it's 4 islands or 4 regions put together, um, that you're at a level where it only allows people from that have a similar sort of package, sign up. Um, there was something, I'm not being clear about it, but there were restrictions as to how many people you could have on the island, etc. And I
Yeah,
don't know
you
if that.
maxed out, Al. I tried to get
Um,
back to your island, and I
uh,
kept getting that you were at maximum avatar.
oh, that's great to hear. I mean, it's not great to hear that you that happened to you, but there is a 10 avatar limit to
Yeah,
at
Yeah.
and
least
you were
my
at it.
my type, and I was at it. Wow. And that's why I had told my reviewers, I had sent out a blast email, actually a few, just to sort of lead up to today. Just stay away from this hour. Um, and one guy that I spoke to on the phone, I had to actually explain what it was, but that we have a 10 avatar max, so I had to allow as much room as possible for people to stop in. But
Hey,
yeah,
Eileen.
Mm-hmm.
similarly to the 10. I was just going to say, similarly to the 10-person avatar limit that I have, Maya, you might have limitations because of the type of island you have, and you
Yeah,
should check
that's.
that
I
at
know I'm supposed to be able to have up to 40 also because I have
40.
Yeah, because she's
$20.
paid the $20 for those, and I paid
Right.
the $20 too. That's why I have 4 islands.
Yeah,
I mean, though,
I
can
didn't.
you get 40 all on one? See, when I look at my 4-piece island, that it says that I have a total of 60,000 prims that I can put on. But if you go to any one corner of my big, the big space, that it shows 15,000. So I think it may look at itself as 4 different, and that's.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Telly, you can actually, I did this years back, but there is a way, and I did it in Second Life, but there is a way that you can load up the prims on one place and leave others empty. So
Okay.
the 60,000, at least with one island. I think we're getting some feedback from Maya's headset there. Yeah, I think you can assign them. I can't remember how I did it, but it is doable. So it's through one of the menus, but you could say that one island would have 45,000 prims and the others could be kind of empty. So you can definitely do that. Also, I'm
Can
not
you do
sure.
that with the avatars too?
I don't know. You probably could,
Okay.
but they do have that forum. If you go back to the Kitely Space website, down at the bottom there's a forum, and there are places where you can ask questions. Somebody might have answered that question, or if you ask it, the programmers, Ian and what's the other one? The two guys, they generally get back pretty quickly. And so I would ask them about those things. Some things you can test yourself. I get multiple avatars. All I need are different emails. And so I'll come in at different times with different computers to test things, but I can't test like 40 avatars at once. So, Al's was a good test today. We could see that they meant it with 10. It does limit out. But I'm not sure about the others. And, you can see that's why when they had the big conference, they had, you were there last year, Telly, when they had everybody come in and try to, break the system. That's the kind of thing that we have to do.
Did.
Oh, you did?
Although they were adding bots in at one point, and I think that's especially what finally took it down.
Oh.
I have a question for Maya's, and I'm wondering, Eileen, if we.
Did we lose her?
Yeah, I can't hear her now. Yeah, and the green waves aren't coming out. Sometimes I wonder how often they have big groups in this Kitely. Oh, no, she's back. We lost you for a little bit.
Oh.
Your sound.
Or Maya. Oh, Maya.
Your sound.
Me?
Yeah, Telly. Yeah.
Yeah, just start again. You were saying.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
So if we found one or two of the folks who couldn't get in this time and had them teleport to either the bunny biology or up to your mountaintop classroom, Maya, and see if, in fact, because most of your imports of the Cornell buildings are all on that site that we were at, right? Yeah, and I'm wondering whether that may have been keeping some people out. Because Al got in really easily up at the mountaintop. And that one's more of, using prims and
I
things
didn't
that.
land there though. I didn't land there. I landed on one of the other quadrants,
Did you
and
land where the phone booth is?
I
You
don't
probably did right
remember.
around that.
I actually landed somewhere on the side of a mountain. So I don't even know where I was. I didn't turn around to really look. I opened up the mini map just to see where others were, and just teleported right to your group that was in the mountaintop. So that's how I
And
got
Yeah.
there.
and
I
that's where
re-teleported.
when you teleported in, did you just put Bio Bunny Island and that's where you ended up?
Yeah, I had you in my landmarks, so I
Oh,
just went
yeah.
there.
See, I was able to get here because I was doing landmarks too, but it's just a test to see if that heavily imported CAD drawing stuff that the students had done of the Cornell buildings might be causing some problems and people could get other spaces. That would be my only suggestion for a test.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And also too, Maya, if you can export this, and again, all of this is in the operations document that I created. Just go to the table of contents and you can find it. But you can save your whole island. You can save all 4 of them. And then you could simplify things, upload a simple OAR just to test your island. And then you could determine whether maybe some combination of all the things you have might be causing problems. But I think that's more to be problems in getting around. I think that somehow you might have set it only to those of us in our group. And go back to the documents. I spent a lot of time this past summer figuring out groups, and I can't remember it now, but there's some place where you set only certain groups can get on your island. So that might be it as well. And if you look at the document, it'll show you how to do that. And I can't remember whether that was something from the web. I think you might go in through the web-based interface and say what groups can be there. Oh, we'll see you. And I think probably we all have to head out soon too. But
yeah, I'll check that out, and I guess I also will email and see if answer. I know that they come in and check things out other times and left a note card, so
oh, good.
yeah.
Because they have quote prim limits, but I don't know that they always impose them. But I ran into trouble because my islands got so big and I really had to take stuff off them. And so it might be how they count those other buildings because you're using different types of graphics when you're rendering those buildings. And so you might need fewer if you're going to have those type of imports. That's just a guess though. But these are things to check out. But sometimes if you put it back to save your complex one, bring up a couple of simple things and see if you still have the trouble. And you can just simply upload some OARs. I put in one of the courses, I forget which one, I even just have a lot of little OARs that I created. But you can go to Zataru and get a simple thing like their garden islands and just check to make sure it isn't a problem with the island and the complexity of the stuff you have.
I have 6 students who are interested in doing the curriculum.
Oh, great.
I could have them all come in at the same time, or try to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, would you be there with them in the room too?
Yeah. Yeah, so we can all see if it works.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, test out some of those. Yeah, if you get people to come in with you, that'll make it easier. Well, and I do have to run, but I want to thank you all. You really did a great job, and we learned a lot. And Maya will kind of help you figure out why we couldn't get in, but you still do have a lot of stuff that we could see. So.
And thanks, Mary, for being there and helping me.
No problem. Eileen, I have about 14 minutes.
Okay.
A video from Maya's island when Marjorie was in, and then she and I were transporting around. So at least we have footage of stuff. So I can send both of you the link in a few.
Okay. And I think that April talked about putting them in Dropbox, which I'm not quite sure how to do that, but then I could get your raw footage and maybe make a composite video. And so maybe when April does that, I'll ask her how she did it. But either way, yeah, and I've got video too.
I videotape my whole session, and I also videotape my landing on your island, Maya. So if you want that little snippet for any reason, just let me know.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to also see where you landed.
Right, that's right. Right, we have a record of it. Absolutely. There we go.
Well, you guys are
you guys.
great developers and troubleshooters, and I'll say goodnight too. But I'll collect things. The more I can collect, the more we can make a nice composite video. So good night, everybody. And thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Good job,
Good
you
night.
guys.